Hey, what's up gang? Kawaii50 here with another Honkai Star Rail video, and it is time to talk about Luocha. Now, I'm just gonna hit us out the gate with my pure belief. I do believe that Luocha is the best healer in the entire game. Yes, even supplanting Bailu. And I really think he is absolutely worth your time if you are not holding out for either Kafka or Blade. If you've been holding on to those Stellar Jades and you don't know who to pull for, well, this might be the time to use them. We're going to be going over Luocha's skills, ultimates, talents, all that crazy stuff, and give you some relic ideas as well as some other additional equipment you can use in order to make Luocha a absolute pillar of your team, literally the rock that your entire team is built off of. Hopefully this video ends up helping you out. If it does, be sure to go ahead, like, and subscribe. So Luocha already seems impressive out of the gate because the man is imaginary. Up until his and Yukong's appearance, we only had Welt in the game as an imaginary element character, so that trend has already been broken. Let's take a look at a couple of these abilities, starting with Luocha's skill, because honestly, the normal attack, you can just straight up ignore that for most of the leveling up, I'll be frank with you. Looking at Prayer of the Abyss Flower, this immediately restores a target's HP based off of Luocha's attack, so attack seems to be a very important stat for him. This also grants him a stack of Abyss Flower and automatically allows Luocha to heal an ally when their HP falls below 50%. This effect is going to get triggered again after 2 turns, so we want to make sure that Luocha is able to process some turns to be able to use this skill again. Luocha's ultimate is also impressive, but not necessarily in terms of damage. What Luocha's ultimate does is it removes 1 buff from all enemies. So we've got a buff strip feature already built in. This deals damage to everyone, of course, so if they're imaginary weak, you're gonna see them getting closer to a break, and it also grants him 1 stack of that very useful Abyss Flower. So you might be asking yourself, well, what does Abyss Flower do? Why do I care about Abyss Flower stacks? Well, when Abyss Flower reaches 2 stacks, this all gets consumed to deploy a field against the enemy. Whenever any enemy in the field is attacked by that ally, any ally on your team, that attacking ally is immediately going to restore their HP. The field lasts for 2 turns. If Luocha ends up getting knocked down, well, that field is going to get dispelled. Also, of course, there's Luocha's technique. That's just what triggers off of his ability. Immediately heals an ally with the lowest current HP percentage equal to 50% of Luocha's max HP. Very, very helpful. Looking at these traces, well, we've already got something that completely outstrips Bailu. Cleansing Revival removes 1 debuff from a target ally. Bailu, I remind you, has absolutely 0 debuff cleanse, so this ends up immediately rocketing him above her in the terms of healers, in my opinion. Sanctified also regenerates 10 energy for Luocha after he uses his ultimate, and Through the Valley makes it so damage received by Luocha from a single attack cannot be higher than 80% of his max HP, so this ends up completely preventing him from getting one-shot. If your Luocha, however, is in danger of getting one-shot, you might need to either get some more HP on him, or you might need to definitely level up your characters or focus on their relics, because he shouldn't be getting one-shot. This skill should very much so be rarely used. So this next answer is for the whales. If I am pulling for multiple copies, where do I stop? What seems to be a very good stopping point for this healer? And I actually have to go with Eidolon level 4, not necessarily because of what this skill offers, but because of all of the other effects you are going to get cascading on top of that. Hitting up to 4 grants you a very, very oppressive healer. What does Eidolon level 4 do? Well, when the field is active, your enemies will become weakened and deal 12% less damage. So that helps keep all of your allies alive by simple damage mitigation. We are also getting from Eidolon level 2, Luocha's outgoing healing increasing by 30% if an ally's HP is lower than 50%, but more importantly, if it's higher, your ally is going to get a shield that is going to absorb damage and last for 2 turns. So we get a little bit of a tank showing on Luocha in the higher Eidolon levels. And Eidolon 1 is just a simple, unexciting but very, very good boost. Whenever the field is active, all allies get a blanket 20% attack increase, which is just delicious. Just an absolutely solid Eidolon level. So if you want to just barely hit the Eidolon levels, 1 will definitely do ya, but getting yourself up to 4 if you really like the character and you really want to get as many copies as possible, once you hit 4, you are going to have a complete force to be reckoned with. So what is Luocha's best light cone? Echoes of the Coffin. Of course, the one featuring the character ends up being their best one. This trend is just going to continue. This grants Luocha a staggering 24% attack increase, and after using an attack for each different enemy he ends up hitting, he gets 3 energy. Each attack can regenerate energy up to 3 times, and after the wearer uses their ultimate, all allies gain 12 speed for 1 turn. This is definitely worth mentioning. If you recall, Luocha's talent needs 2 turns of cooldown to trigger, so chucking a bunch of speed on our healer allows him to cycle through these turns quickly and get that refreshed. This is great. Coming off of his light cone, we are also going to focus on that when we come to building him as well. However, you might not have Echoes of the Coffin. Totally understandable. You might not have ended up pulling this because you might not have had the funds. If you happen to have time waits for no one sitting in your box, this is a good chance to use that. This grants 18% HP and 12% outgoing healing. Also ends up hitting other enemies when Luocha attacks, and this additional damage is of course going to be the same type, not being affected by other buffs. We are mainly worried about this for the HP and outgoing healing boost. If you're looking for a not 5-star light cone, since those are very hard to come by, you can chuck post-op conversation on here. This will grant 8% energy regeneration and outgoing healing bonuses by 12% when Luocha's ultimate is used. Luocha's relics and ornament are incredibly simple. We're going to go with Passerby of a Wandering Cloud, and we want the full set on this man. 10% outgoing healing and immediately regenerating 1 skill point at the start of battle is going to be very helpful when it comes to using your healing. You are going to want outgoing healing on your body if at all possible. Of course, speed boots, which basically every single character in the game wants. Keep these in mind when getting your pieces. When it comes to our sphere and our link, we're going to go with a Fleet of the Ageless, because Fleet of the Ageless still continues to be super duper good on our healers. This grants 12% max HP, and then when the wearer's speed reaches 120 or higher, all of your allies get a blanket 8% attack boost. This is great on supports and healers, Luocha being no exception. When it comes to our sphere, we're going to want attack percentage to, of course, take advantage of the fact that our heals completely scale off of Luocha's attack. When it comes to the link, you can go with energy regen or even more attack percentage. Either or ends up working great for you. And that's really all the advice I have to give for Luocha. I didn't specifically recommend a team for him because, well, he's a healer. He works great with absolutely any team you can possibly conjure up in the game. And if you are a newer player just hopping on Star Rail for the first time recently, you end up pulling this man. He is going to carry you super, super far like my Bailu carried me in the early days. So, of course, use him. Use him if you pull him, if you are waffling, or if you need a healer. He is absolutely worth going for. He will keep your team alive through even the most grueling boss battles. Of course, on top of this, I want to know what you all think, so let me know your thoughts on Luocha down in the comment section below. Let me know if you think there are any relics, any light cones, or any different, trace order or skill order you think would work for him that I didn't cover. Let's go ahead and theory craft about this character down in the comments below so we can go ahead and help each other do our very best at Star Rail. While you're heading down into the comment section, check out my Discord, my Patreon, and my Ko-fi. Big thanks to everyone on all of those platforms for their support, and of course, huge thanks to all of you on YouTube as well. If it wasn't for your support, I wouldn't continue making these videos, so I really do appreciate it. Anyways, gang, that's it for me, Kawaii50. I hope you all have a phenomenal day. I will see you all in the next one.